prijateljstvo, povjerenje, ljubav, odanost. Udruženje za zaštitu životinja MOJ PAS.
Dresurom se bavim već 20 godina.
I've been training dogs for already 20 years. I can say freely that dog trainings are still an unknown area because it demands from you to establish a proper communication with an animal. In my opinion, it's the best way of dog training if dog's owner does training by himself, so he will be familiar to a method that will enable him mutual life with the dog. This is an asylum for dogs. In here there are dogs that didn't have a proper training and socializing. They ended up here due to many problems between them and their ex-owners. Some of them will be happy enough if they get adopted by a new owner who would take a proper care, so those dogs would be able to hope of getting different and happy life. However, there are other dogs that were not so lucky, and already after a few months staying in here, they will be subjected to euthanasia. This film and brochure is dedicated to dogs' owners so they would, with proper timely dog training, stop raising their destructive behavior, take a proper care and understand the dog's point of view. Dogs are animals that still have habits of packs and seeking for a leader. If owner does not have a right attitude as a pack leader, a dog would be confused and would try to take over leadership, which would inevitably make a conflict between dog and his owner. Dogs have feelings too, and that is why I'm not that kind of animal trainer who would turn his dog into a robot and to shackle his dog's character, because natural dog's characteristics are something that make dogs special to me.
Dresura psa je dugačak
Dog
proces
training is a long
koji
process
morate da
and you
budete
have to be
naoružani
patient and
strpljenjem
persistent.
i dosljednošću.
Before you decide to bring changes into your life by adopting a dog as a pet, you have to create him proper living conditions which will protect him from various weather conditions such as rain, snow, coldness or heat, and etc. It's not enough to have a little dog house and a chain. I consider even contrary. It's one of the most inhuman ways how some people treat their pets, and obviously at the beginning the relationship is about to be dysfunctional. Adopting a dog means taking an absolute care about him, about his accommodation, food, health and activities that make him happy. After I have got an agreement from my neighbors, I have made a box for my pet in a part of my garden which would provide a maximum control of a space for my dog and make me easier to maintain and clean the box. Bottom of the box I have made it of planks because during cold winters I would decrease possibilities of having my dog being sick from inflammation of a urethra or inflammation of kidneys, which appear very often. It happens When dogs lay on a concrete, I covered whole box to protect it from weather conditions. According to the size of a dog, you have to construct a suitable wooden dog house, and size of a box has to be big enough to provide your pet normal movement inside of it. This is Zita. She's a black German Shepherd. The main characteristics of that breed are calmness, mind stability, courage, and I think this breed of dogs is one of rare breeds that is ready to make sacrifice of its life for owner's one. This breed is psychologically and physically very solid, and it is suitable for various tasks at the police, special armies, or to have them as house guard dogs and loyal companions. With her help, I will show you a proper way how you should train your dog.
Dresirati znači naučiti
Dog training
životinju
means to teach
da
animal to
izvršava
obtain
različite
various
komande.
commands. During the training, it's strongly forbidden to mistreat a dog physically, such as any kind of beating or usage of electroshocks, which recently have become very popular among some trainers. Any of these techniques of training will leave psychological scars on dogs, and in my opinion, those dogs are unhappy. Train your dog to obtain your commands from respect to you, not from fear. When dog is brought to your home, do not try to do any exercise, but take enough time to get to know each other. By feeding and stroking and amiable calling dog by name, dog will start to trust you and will see friend in you that is needful to him. During that time, you should protect your dog from parasites such as fleas and worms by using only medical concoctions recommended by vets. That kind of protection will be necessary for whole life of your pet. The first going out from a box, dog should take that as a game. By stroking a dog, easily put a dog collar and a leash, and take him to the first walk inside of your garden and try to make him interested by stroking and playing with him and calling his name so a dog would forget about a dog collar. After walking is finished, you should stop your dog just before the entrance of the box and give him your first command, box. Command has to be said shortly and clear, using tone that is slightly stronger than a whisper, but with a higher and authoritative intonation that warn a dog about conditional command. Take a collar off and give him a food from a hand as reward for his first going out. Taking dog collar off is necessary, otherwise there is possibility of hair fall on a place where dog collar was. Any next getting out of a box, when dog sees collar and a leash, he will be happy for having day out and walking.
Dresura psa mora da bude
Dog training has to be organized, and one of the common mistakes is giving commands after commands. First commands that dog needs to get known must not be stressful, but being taught through games and stroking. It is the best to apply commands at the garden where dog feels safe, and during the time when outdoors influences are minor, such as noise of cars, children's noise, strong winds, etc. Outdoors disturbing elements might affect on a dog and distract his attention, so commands you give to him could be blocked and dog wouldn't obtain them. On next get out, we will do everything the same, following same method of putting a dog collar and easy walking across the garden with involving new game and teaching him a new command, sit. Sitting position is a basic of next exercise. A command, sit, is to be said just before you press dog's loin by using a hand. Command is said again, but little bit louder than a whisper and said with authoritative intonation. When dog sits, you should reward him with a piece of food and again stroke him so he wouldn't be feared of a new game. And immediately after successful obtained command, you should command him by tapping him and saying bravo, adding dog's name. For example, bravo Zita. Conditional reflex of dog's behavior on command becomes successful from a moment when dog, without pressing dog's loin, obtains command sit. All exercises which will be included in dog's training must not take more than 20 minutes because dog would lose interest for them. After exercise is finished, you should play with dog and then take him to the box by using already known command. But every next time you take him to the box, you should stay a bit away from a box and giving him a command at the same time by showing dog a direction he should go, by using hand to point the direction. The best time to train your dog is when he's hungry because his interest in food and reward will be on maximum level. Commands you say have to be short and clear because dogs do not understand your words but understand different intonations and kind of tone you say that. Commands should be always said softly, and opposite of that, punishments you should say in an imperative voice. Dogs better understand body language than words, so try to show dogs what you want by using hand, adding a command in the same time. After 3 or 4 days, we add a few connected commands that do not have practical usage, but they are good to create a relationship between you and the dog. And they are interesting to children who grow up together with an animal. That is command for lifting left or right paw, funny command dead, and command roll over. While dog sits, using right hand take his left paw and say command give a paw, and lift a dog's paw as you shake hands. The same thing you should repeat with the left hand and the right paw by saying a command another paw. Stay persistent in teaching him exercise, and from time to time command dog by tapping him and rewarding him by giving him piece of food. While dog sits, take his left paw using your right hand and hold his loin or neck by right hand and slowly push him onto floor, saying dead. While dog lays, stroke him over whole body and whisper command dead. When you see dog is relaxed enough, take his front and rear paws which are on floor and slowly turn him on the opposite side and say command roll over. Tap your dog and praise him. Give him a piece of food as reward. Relax him from exercise by playing with him and take him back to the box using method of staying away from a box and saying command box while in the same time pointing him direction where to go. These easy commands that we pass through tell us that dogs are slaves to habits, literally speaking, and if we show them exercises and teach them new ones slowly, and if we are persistent and calm, dogs will show loyalty to his owner and will recognize pack leader in you whose commands are needed to obey. It is time to take a dog for a first walk out of your garden. You should choose location carefully in the vicinity of your house or a flat, with as less as it is possible inappropriate outdoor disturbing elements, somewhere that you are able to work with your dog in a peaceful environment. Using short leash, put your dog next to left side, so your right arm is always free when walking dog. When walking begins, say command leg, and immediately after that, by quick pulling a leash backward or forward, depending on a dog position, you control walk of the dog. That has to be next to your leg all the time. When dog is next to your leg, do praise him by saying bravo. If that procedure is repeated many times, dog will get used to be always with his master. At the beginning of the exercise you should walk straight, but by time you will use circle walks. Demand from your dog to be next to your leg by tapping your lap using left hand. Using that gesture you give a sign to a dog to follow you by being next to your leg. By time when you are sure that dog has conditional reflex on your command, loosen the leash and try to see if dog follows you when you tap your left lap. After a few days with this command you can add another one, place. Dog will be taught to this easily. Put your dog next to your left leg. Instead a short leash, put small rope on dog's collar of about 10 meters long. Say command place, and by using your hand press the dog easily between shoulder blades so he will lay down. You can praise him and stroke him or give him a piece of food to eat from your hand. Do stroke him and demand from him to stay a minute at that position, then repeat exercise walking by side until you come back on starting position. This kind of exercise do repeat a few times by constant stroking and praising a dog. To be sure that dog responds to this command, do everything what you have learned so far and add command leg, without using hand pressing but spoken commands only. This command you can train at all locations with no disturbing elements and extending time when dog sits still, and constantly control him by walking around him. In the case that dog refuses command and stands up, pull a rope and pull the dog back on the place and demanding from him to obey command. In this case you can tell command a bit louder and with warning tone. By time a circle you make around a dog, make it bigger. And by putting down your hand, you show your dog to stay in a situ. All commands you have taught your dog from the beginning of training you must repeat every day so dog can create a habit of obeying commands. This exercise with a rope can be versatile, so you can use it in situations when you need to control a dog, but he's not in close vicinity. For example, let dog walk inside of your garden. Do watch constantly what he does and what his behavior is. In case dog does some inappropriate activities such as habit that is very often taking shoes, taking food waste from the floor, etc., you will say command poo or no, and by short strong pulling the rope you acknowledge him not to do that. If dog disobey command at that very moment, approach to him and in the same time say to him with sharp and strong voice poo or no. Using this gesture you have showed him that you are leader and your commands are to be obeyed. Now this is the only way to punish your dog, and a punishment is effective when dog only does something inappropriate. It's a very common situation that dog behavior is not quite appropriate to others, such as jumping on people, attacking other animals, or if he does a poo in the house, distracting things around, running after cars, etc. If these behaviors are not caused by some psychophysical problem and dog does not respond on command no or a poo, do punish him in already explained way, but try to avoid these situations, especially during basic training, because it would affect on relationship between you and your dog. Locations where you train your dog have to be changed from time to time. In the beginning, your garden or a flat, then some place out of your house or a flat with as less as possible disturbing elements, so you can take dogs to other locations by time which would get dog used on different outdoor influences. That is the reason why you need to have dog get used on being driven in a car and staying inside of a car. Many dogs do not take well being driven, and due to that, it is the best to feed your dog before you start any travel. Entering a car is the best exercise to teach your dog of command hop. Put your dog next to left side while he is on a short leash. Offer him some food so dog starts put his front legs on car's door or a bonnet. If there is a bit of fear or anxiety, do help him by putting his front legs at a car entrance with saying command hop in calm way. Take a leash up, and even in some occasions you have to lift the dog up by using your hands so he can jump into a car. Give some food to your dog as a reward, and it is compulsory to tap him or stroke him with saying word bravo. Repeat this exercise a few times, and every time you should stroke your dog and give him some food as a reward. If you change training locations where disturbing elements are present which would distract dog from your commands, you have to use only those commands that dog fully obeys, so he can be assimilated to an environment with disturbing elements, and by stroking you calm your dog. While repeating trained exercises, you can use moments during breaks to put muzzle on dog's head, so he will get used to it. Putting muzzle on dog's head needs to be gentle but fast. At the first time during the breaks, dog will have it for a minute. Every following day we extend time, and through games we distract dog's attention from a muzzle until he gets used to it. After a few walkouts we can continue with dog training with compulsory muzzle usage. Command apport, or bringing a thrown object, is a basic of advanced training. Many dogs have that habit born with. However, there are dogs that are not interested in that type of game. The basic thing to create that good feeling for this game is to make that object alive. You will take a tennis ball that is soft enough so it would not harm your dog's teeth. Try to make him interested in that ball. By moving and playing with the ball, throwing ball just in front of the dog, or taking ball in front of his head so he can take it by himself. As a start, try to be happy if your dog takes a ball. Do not try to take it from him. Leave him to play with it for a while, and then try to take it from him, but with compulsory praising and reward. You should play with dog this game for a few days and then try to throw the ball far from him. To avoid letting ball from dog's mouth, you should command sit. Next command will be give, and take the ball from his mouth with compulsory praising and reward. When dog got learned this command, next throwing will be followed by pointing direction by hand and saying command seek. Having dog trained for this command is one of preconditions to train search dogs for different purposes, such as searching for narcotics or weapons, etc. Methods are very simple, but they demand everyday usage of apport command. For example, tennis ball you keep in a box with truffles. By time the ball will take the smell of fungus, and if game is played every day, dog will get used to that familiar smell. By commanding seek, dog will swap eye sense for smell sense, and he will try to find a ball and please his master. I will repeat. Dogs are so-called slaves to habits. Training has to be organized, and do never teach another command if previous one has not been taught enough. One of the disturbing elements could be a sound of a water stream, but it gives in the same time an opportunity to let dog to get used to the water. Swimming is an ideal way for dog's physical development. That introducing should be done in steps. You can use natural environment. For example, you can send dog by using apport command to bring a ball that is thrown into a water, or owner can be on the other side of the small water stream and call dog to come across to the other side. However, if your efforts are not successful, then you must realize that you have to bath with your pet. Take your dog gradually into water and do not push him to do that, otherwise it's possible it would create a phobia from water. Play with him, stroke him and slowly pull him into a deeper water, holding dog's head upright above the water and constantly encourage him. When you have reached certain depth of water, do stroke him and whisper to him praising words. For a start, it is enough to stay in water for a minute. Turn a dog towards the water stream bank and easily let him go by telling him command swim. Dog will instinctively move legs and start to swim. After just a couple of water experiences, fear will disappear, and during hot days, your dog will go into water by himself and will happily play in it. I will show you the way how to make your dog get used to shooting in a case of preparing your dog for all conditions with different disturbing elements. This type of training is very important to hunting dogs as well as for various police and army trainings. Let your dog to play freely, and in the moment when dog is having fun and does not respond on your presence, let firework off, which has to explode as far as possible from a dog. If dog gets frightened, distract his attention on something else and encourage him by tapping dog's loin. For a start, it's enough to have a couple explosions which, during dog's habit forming to shooting, get neared gradually. If you want to have a guard dog in your garden, proceed in following way. According to the law, you have to place warning table on a visible place at your garden entrance, so your guests would be informed of dog presence. Never shackle your dog to bark, but do control his natural urge and direct that urge on a moment when someone enters your garden. Every time when you are in a vicinity of your dog and he calls back by barking, command him by saying a word hold. With compulsory praise your dog. That command, by time it will become versatile command that can be used for defense or when dog responds to unknown person presence in your garden. First, you should hide yourself and ask your friend to enter the garden and provoke purposely your dog that is in a box. From the moment when dog starts barking, get out and say to him command hold with compulsory praise. This exercise needs to be repeated at least 5 times, but always with different assistant. In this way, dog will lose the trust to unknown people and warn you by barking that somebody is about to enter the garden. This exercise you can do outdoors with an assistant, but you must hold dog on a short leash. Any dog is like any man, with a different character, and because of that, every dog training should be slightly distinguished, which is of course what you need to find out by yourself. Your dog is a mirror of your soul, so if you are nervous, your dog would be nervous as well. That is why you need to be calm and patient. You should take out your dog every day with compulsory of muzzle usage in urban environment. If you are not in a mood, do not do any exercise. Feed your dog on a regular basis and take care on dog's health. Be persistent. Do not let other members of the same household to train your dog. Do not shout on dog. Commands you say must be short and clear. Do socialize your dog through the game and playing with other dogs. Let him to get known other members of the same households and let him being happy playing with them. And, on the end, do love your dog because he loves you.